Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shattered Convictions. Today, we have an amazing show, something that's extremely important. So important, in fact, that I thought it was necessary for me to get a haircut. Something that will shatter your convictions. Pun intended. We are going to be ranking conspiracy theories based off of if your friend were to come up to you and try to pitch you the new conspiracy theory that they fell into on TikTok.
Este programa tem o patrocínio Hotel Praia Sol, Luís Firmini Insurance, Jornal Luso Americano, Go Car Service, MCM Clinic, Coimbra Restaurant, Top Burger.
We are on a time limit, so we can't dissect every single one to the full extent that we would like to, but if you guys want to see that, we can make a series dissecting each one to see if it holds merit or not. But for today, it's just a little bit of fun to see how based some of these conspiracy theories are.
And yeah, so it's like you got to think about it like this, right? If you look at the tier list here, we have based, obviously, that is the peak attribute a human can hold is being based. Obviously, after that, we have probably. Because, there's some conspiracies, it's probable.
It might be
makes
true,
a lot
might
of
not
sense,
be, right.
But I don't know 100%. Then we have who knows, obviously who knows. A lot of conspiracies out there that's the only answer there is. Fed psyop is this conspiracy is so ridiculous that you have to be a Fed. There's no other explanation. There's a psyop going on here trying to get people to fall into BS. And then obviously touch grass where
you're just lost.
You're lost in the sauce.
Yeah, go outside a little bit.
Lost in the sauce, yeah.
Originally was supposed to say get off of Twitter, but I think touch grass
is a lot better.
I think it fits a little bit better. So, you want to start?
100%.
So I guess we'll just start these are in no particular order. They're just kind of along the way, of us thinking them up. And we didn't alphabeticalize or anything. We might go from aliens to one thing back to aliens, on a different subject. But so let's get started. The first one we have is the moon landing was fixed and it was shot by Stanley Kubrick. Based, touch grass. What do you think?
I don't know. I think this is a classic conspiracy. So
it's probably one of the most classic.
Yeah, I think 100%. When you're thinking of conspiracy, this is kind of what you think of. So I think it's got to be up there. You know what I'm saying? We have to put this at a good ranking.
How about since it's the first one and
the question is too.
I feel like you need to touch grass because I believe it, but I understand the flip of it too. So I don't know. For me personally, I would say who knows. Maybe that's a good barometer to start. You know what I mean? Somewhere in the middle. It's a classic.
I don't know because
conspiracy theory.
Let me tell you, with the moon landing is fake, right? There is some motive that does make sense.
For sure.
I don't think the moon landing was fake, so I don't know. I think who knows is definitely
right?
good.
Yeah,
yeah definitely. Yeah,
so
I would say who knows.
That's a good place to have our bearings. You know what I mean? So moon landing, who knows? Kind of lean towards it being fake, kind of don't.
Look, if it was fake, I would not be surprised. Let's say
right.
That.
But if
it wasn't,
because my thing with it is actually, who knows? Because during the Red Scare, we were doing so much, it could be possible. Okay. MK Ultra is the next one. For you who don't know, MK Ultra is the theory that the CIA was testing mind control, and there's different ways they did it, through psychedelics, through torture, through sleep deprivation. But yeah, based, not based. Touch grass.
I think that's based. I think
based.
It's pretty well known. This is a real conspiracy theory. If you want to
is it a conspiracy theory if the CIA themselves admitted to it?
Exactly. And I'm pretty sure with the MK Ultra, it was only released because it was a misfiling issue. So it got out.
So they didn't even want it to get out.
Exactly.
Right.
And we don't even know all the information that's out about MK Ultra, whether or not they were able to succeed, whether or not they
or what it evolved,
different projects,
or what it evolved into. Right. Because I also hear Project Mockingbird is around there and thereof. But so yeah, based. I would say it's based.
And also too, it's in terms of a story-wise, it's a pretty crazy story.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
government's trying to mind control you.
Yeah.
We get that with
it sounds like a 007 movie.
It sounds like a Stranger Things.
Right.
So it's also, I understand if my boy was coming up to me and was like, MK Ultra's real, bro. I would say base. It makes sense. The story's good.
I would agree.
And also too, there's actual documented evidence for it.
Right.
So
agreed.
I think it's pretty based.
Is pretty good. The next one we have is aliens built the pyramids.
I don't like this conspiracy.
Me neither.
I have beef with this conspiracy.
Me too.
Because it's I feel like us humans, we're able to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. Personally, I'm going to put it here. I don't know if you agree, touch grass, because
Well, I don't want to say touch grass.
It's touch grass.
I don't want to say touch grass.
I will back up why it's touch
All
grass.
right, tell me.
It's touch grass because this whole notion of aliens building things comes from a colonial mindset that minorities can't build these great, like, wonders of the world. You know what I mean? Where, like, you could get a lot done with slavery. You know what I mean? Including building the pyramids, you know? Like,
but the thing, though, too, I think there's some people who think that way. I think good people who think this, it's more of, like, the certain attributes of the pyramids are so trippy. The fact that they're, like, aligned to a certain number.
That's also knowledge.
The fact that they were able to put, like, these huge stones in areas
but if you look
seems
at
impossible.
if you look at ancient civilizations, majority of them were really good astrologers. They knew how to, like, astronomy. They knew how to, like, read the stars, and, like, they were more in tune with that. So it's not even, look at Stonehenge. Stonehenge is the same thing. You're gonna say that was built by aliens?
But I think that's a lot earlier in terms of, like, human, like, when it was built. No.
Stonehenge, or
when was Stonehenge built? Was it?
I don't know for sure. It's definitely not as old as the pyramids.
That's what I'm saying, but that's why it's so
pyramids
crazy.
are,
and even if there's some people who think the pyramids were older than what we say right now, from, like, older civilizations and all that stuff. So I don't know. In terms of did aliens build the pyramids? I would probably say no. And I don't like this because it is a cop out because I think humans can build this type of stuff.
Same. That's why I say it's touch grass.
In terms of, like, I think the logic is there. So I think this is a Fed psyop.
Like, what's the psyop?
I don't know. The psyop is just to think that humans can't do marvelous things without I don't know, like, modern technology. Like, I think with a mindset and a will, humans can do anything.
That's for sure. And, like, I feel like people tend to forget, like with this whole, like, loss of technology. Like, Rome was, like, 200 years ahead technologically wise. You know what I mean? Like that's human nature. Like, for sure, humans can build a pyramid the same way they were able to build ziggurats and, like, all this other crazy wonders of the world. So I'm gonna hold that you need to touch grass if you think aliens built the pyramid. I don't know if you agree with me. If you want to move
I'll put it there. I'll leave it there. I think it's a good. We have a good section here. Because we got a base, we got who knows, we got to touch grass. So we know where these things should lead.
So next is aliens in general. The just aliens existing.
I would definitely put that. Probably.
I lean towards based, but, like, I guess we could do probably. Like, my reasoning behind it being based is mathematically it's impossible for us to be the only thing in the universe. Like, there's billions of stars, you know what I mean? Billions of planets. And you're telling me it's just us? That's terrifying to me. I don't know. Like, I've always loved the quote that, like, there's two possibilities. Either aliens are real or we're all alone here, and both are equally terrifying.
I think that's definitely true. I think so. The reason I say probably is because at the end of the day, we don't know what's out there, right? Nor have we gotten definitive evidence.
But we have. Ish.
It's everything ish. Every time there's an alien, it's always this blurry video or random military video.
What was it like?
Well, real quick, just so I can say. So in terms of the alien thing, I think we don't have evidence, like, here right now. Like, this is based 100%. This is true. Also, too, in terms of the probability thing, there's a lot of questions with that. I would say, like, for one instance, the whole theory that once we expand a certain amount, we always end up killing ourselves. So this kind of, like, limiting factor of intelligent life that they'll continuously grow, and there is no really realistic way to get outside planetary. It's like a rare thing. So there's a lot of questions of, like, maybe the fact that we haven't seen this is because it's impossible to really become a planet-sparing civilization. Like, it's just not realistic at all in terms of how far you have to travel and all this stuff. So, like, in terms of, like, if there's aliens out there, I would say maybe, there's definitely, there's maybe life on other planets, bacteria. You could say that's alien. You could say,
say a bunch of technically it is.
I would say probably there probably is aliens out there, but to say
what about? I think it was the CIA or the DEA or DHS or whoever, Enneagram. I think it was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. You remember this when they, like, admitted UFOs were real and, like, nobody cared?
But that's like the Project Bluebeam.
Okay.
That could be Project Bluebeam,
True.
So I never know. So I would say
personally, okay, I could agree with that because, like, I do think they're out there. If anything, I feel like they're like us, where it's like you can't really escape your planet to, like, interdimensional travel or, like, interstellar travel. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, probably. I lean a little bit more towards based, but yeah, I'm okay with that. Next is the Denver airport is the home of the Illuminati.
Are they not like rich or something? Like, why would they have their base at an airport?
Yeah, I'm gonna say touch grass.
Yeah, that's definitely a touch grass moment. That's something that your boy brings up, and he's like, "But it rhymes with this weird thing." And it's like, bro, stop with the rhyming. Stop with the grabbing.
It's like I heard this the other day. It's like
done.
if you take NASA and you add a T and you scramble it up, it writes Satan. Oh my God, that must be true. Yeah,
you could probably do that enough with Santa too.
Yeah, well, facts. You know, dyslexic Satan.
I think, yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say touch grass. Like, I feel like this always happens when like artists are weird, you know, and artists like drawing weird things or like provocative things. So like, it always comes from a lack of understanding of that, in my opinion. You know, whether it's the Denver airport or like, you know who Rick Owens is? He's he's a famous like fashion designer, and like his wife is like Satanist because she wears all black and like upside down crosses, and like that's just being an artist, you know. And artists like to be edgy, and
Man,
like
I don't know,
you know, like
upside down crosses.
Like it's just being edgy. I don't
Satanist.
think it's anything. Like if the Illuminati had a base, why would it be Denver Airport?
Yeah, that's my biggest thing.
You know what I mean?
And they're like Satan isn't like something about like the horse. I didn't look into it too deeply, so maybe, you know, I'm just not taking the red pill on this one, but
I'm gonna say
I
grass.
think you gotta touch grass for sure.
Flat Earth.
Dude, I like the flat earth movement. I don't know what's going on with them. That was 100% a Fed psyop.
Agreed.
Okay,
like that was definitely used to like keep us like, I don't know if bickering or just like, I don't know, man. But it definitely gives off like the vibe of being feds, though.
There was a bet at the CIA, I guarantee you, where they said, how much can we push the population into believing BS? And they literally said, can we convince them the earth is flat? And they were able to do it.
Yeah, that honestly pretty logical in my opinion. So like I would agree, Fed psyop for sure.
Because it's like I don't know. There's no working theory or model. A lot of it comes from there's a lot of like Christians who think because like the Revelations, it says like four corners of the earth.
Right.
Therefore, it must be flat.
I was also gonna say like
It's
a lot
like
of the flat Earth comes from like with religious undertones. You know, like and my only question is like, okay, so the Earth is flat. Now what?
Yeah.
What's beyond that? And how does that affect us?
And the question is this too. It's like, how do you keep this globe? How do you keep the globe spanning conspiracy that the Earth is flat when there's like so many different scientists from so many different backgrounds that wouldn't have aligned interest to keep this like conspiracy alive? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
There's like literally at home DIY like tests you can do to prove that the Earth is round. You know what I mean? You could do it at home. You could do it outside right now.
Or
you
just
know,
logic.
Like, yeah, or just logic. But like if you need the proof, like
why does the moon?
You can literally do it yourself.
Why does the moon have like phases? Like when you look at it, like why is there a phase like
right.
taken out of it? Or even the stars. Like if you look at like, well, that's a whole different conspiracy. Well, if you look at the stars too, the way that they like circled around when you speed up the rotation of the Earth, you can see that there's like a
right.
You know,
I'm more partial to like why is it gotta be like a flat Earth? Why not cube Earth?
Cube Earth is cool. Minecraft.
You know,
that's like Minecraft. I like Minecraft.
Or like, what if like, did you see it was in a book. I forgot what the book was, but it's like we're on a turtleback.
That's cool. That's like an Avatar thing.
Yeah, I like that. Just because it's an Avatar thing,
that's
like,
cool.
I would put that in based, but we don't have it
then
here.
It's like we have this like
just because of vibes, it's based. You know what I mean?
being.
Like we have a lion turtle. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. But it's not on the list. We're just like offshooting a little.
At least if I was gonna believe in a dumb conspiracy, it would be something like that.
Or like I low-key believe Cube Earth more. You know, like because like my thing with flat Earth is like, dude, everything around us is a globe, but we're not. You know, like
it's a big leaping logic.
I don't know. Well, I would agree. Fed psyop. Next is a classic, probably one of the most classic ones. JFK was killed by the CIA.
I think this is a based conspiracy.
I agreed.
That's definitely
now,
based.
if you want to get into like, because there's the offshoot theory is that it was Mossad. That I don't know if it's. I don't know if there's
a lot of evidence. I think there's
I would put that in like who knows or probably, but him being killed by unalived by I forgot this is meta. Him being unalived by higher powers, I definitely think is true.
Yeah, I think that like specifically with the Mossad angle, there's not enough evidence to just point to it.
Right.
So,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I don't know.
If anything, that feels like you're just like pointing.
There's like motive, like you can extrapolate motive, but you can extrapolate motive for a lot
from anything. Right.
You can't really say that, but I think from the CIA in general, in terms of the whole magic bullet theory, it just
right.
doesn't make any sense.
Agreed.
Maybe either there's a lone gunman, multiple gunmen, who knows? But I would say
based. Yeah, for sure. Illuminati, another classic.
Yeah, this one, I love the Illuminati theories.
Me too.
But
They're so bonkers.
I think it's also a Fed psyop, though.
Yeah, I was gonna put either Fed psyop or who knows, but I'm leaning towards Fed psyop because
I'm
my thing
definitely
about it
saying Fed
is
psyop.
like, look around, nothing's a secret. You know what I mean? Like, I would agree that there's a small like cabal of people like making the decisions and controlling, but it's not secretive. You know, you could look them up. You know, it's the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. It's like all these members of Palantir, and you know what I mean? Like, it's easily Googleable, you know, like.
Or even just like things like Bohemian Grove. Like
Right, which,
things,
like, to be fair, Bohemian Grove, like, I do think it has some merit, you know what I mean? Whether it's like a satanic worship or whatever, I don't know. But, like, elites do weird things, you know what I mean? And, like, especially when, like, they feel like they're untouchable. Look at Epstein, you know what I mean? Like, which I forgot to put the picture here, but Epstein, everybody knows is based. Epstein did not kill himself.
100. That's not even a conspiracy.
Yeah, that's just based.
That's not even a conspiracy.
Like, so we didn't even put it here, but just know it's based. But yeah, like, the thing with the Illuminati is, like, if there's this secret, like, globe ruling order, why do they leave breadcrumbs? You know, like, bless you.
Yikes,
It's
thank you.
Illuminati listening, dog.
Yeah, they're
You know?
trying to get me.
They're tapping me on my laptop.
But no, what I would say is this. The reason why I think it's a psyop is very similar to what you said, which is the fact that there is, you know, it's open. It's not really a secret that
Right.
elites, people with a lot of power, conspire to benefit themselves. That's kind of
weird
just,
things.
That's just
Right.
kind of how it is.
Right.
They do weird things. You know, Bohemian Grove, the whole spirit
The
cooking
whole, like,
trend,
helochrome or
adrenochrome stuff. I don't know if any of that is real. That's more
Right.
like
That's where you start to, like, that's where you
but-
start to lose me.
But
you
that's
know?
the whole
Like,
thing. It's because it's secretive. We don't know what's
Right,
going
right.
on, so people are able to insert whatever they think into the
Right, like the
kind of globe
was it like
conspiracy.
skull and crossbones, like the secret
Yeah, like
society, you know,
Skull and
like
Bones.
Freemasons.
But again, like
like
all that stuff is real. Like there are secret
Right,
societies.
but you could look
the
it
elites
up.
come, they talk to each other. The
Right,
problem
right,
is
right.
we know that they congregate. Sometimes we know the names of their groups. Sometimes we don't.
right.
You know, so at the end of the day, I think it's 100% true. But I think the whole Illuminati, like, why would they continuously go with the name Illuminati? We're secret, bro.
Right,
Look, we
right.
have a ring with the.
And it's like
with
where
the
you
eye,
lose
with the
like,
eye of God on
where
it.
you lose me, it's like you have this super uber powerful organization that controls everybody. Why leave breadcrumbs? You know,
That's
like
because,
is it a
it's
hubris
a
thing?
large conspiracy.
Is it
so
a
they would
hubris
have
thing?
to.
Like,
I don't think they. Well, there is a hubris thing to it. That's what they would say is that some of these people who have these, like, in a way, they have to kind of let you know what they're doing to you as they're doing it,
right? Okay.
because it's kind of part of like this
Vampire rules.
satanic, like.
I
code,
guess,
you know?
yeah. I
And
mean,
then-
like, because me too. Like, I'm practically an atheist, so like, you start to lose me when people start bringing like up things like satanic cults and this and that. You know, like,
But I'm a Christian, and those things are real. It just doesn't mean every time
It is
it's
that. Right,
you know?
right.
And a lot of the times when there is no information, people will insert like a God of the Gaps kind of thing, where
Right.
they'll insert like the Satanists of the Gaps or
Right.
demon worshippers of the Gaps, where they don't know what's going on. They're just like demon,
But then
demon.
my thing, right? And then you said it perfectly. Like, people don't know what's going. Like, I read the Satanic Bible. You know what I mean? Like,
Yikes.
there's two sects of
joking.
there's two sects of Satanism. You have I forget exactly, Levain, I think it's called, which is like legit like child sacrifice, like Satan. The other one is, oh man, is it called the New Age?
Because it's
Satanism?
like it's more of an
atheist.
atheist.
It's an atheist thing, and they're using it to like.
It's humanism. It's
Right.
atheist humanism.
And that's the one I read, you know, and like most of that is like pretty logical, I guess. There's nothing about like
because the
sacrificing
devil-
babies
because,
or
yeah,
like,
because the devil
you know,
doesn't
like,
really need you to do all these sacrificing stuff as long as you denounce God. So if it's
Right.
an atheist, if it's an atheist like Jim, you know,
Right,
it would
yeah,
still
I
be
guess,
the work of the
sure.
devil because he's taking people away from
makes
God.
sense.
So it's,
Alright.
at the end of the day, it would still be that. I
Still
think
think it's a Fed psyop though.
Fed psyop.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I
Let's
think we
move
could
on.
all agree on that. This one is related to flat Earth, but it's a little bit different. Hollow Earth.
Hollow Earth. I love Hollow Earth. I love the theory Hollow Earth.
It's a lot of fun. Like,
know-
I feel like a lot of these would be great science fiction novels.
100%.
You know, like,
100%.
yeah.
Because imagine it's like you're going in a cave, you find something, you're like, what is that? And then you just see like a huge cave that is able to fit a skyscraper in it,
Right.
and you just see that there's like animals
Right.
and there's its own
like,
light.
It's like, did you ever
so
see?
cool.
I forgot. Was it Ice Age 4 where like they go into the hollow earth and it's all like dinosaurs still and like
No, I've never seen that.
I think it might have been, but same vibes though, you know, of like that hollow earth. There's a whole another world within the world.
And at least that makes more sense in flat Earth. Let's be
I think it
honest
makes
here.
more sense in flat
Because,
Earth, too.
Like, for example, we know that there's huge caves that have their own ecosystems or whatever, and they have their own like weather because it's so big and massive.
Right.
Cool. You know, now you're saying that there's bigger ones even deeper, and that the core of the Earth is like a second sun that is able to warmth the thing. They have a whole like theory,
Yeah.
Lovecraftian levels of like
For sure.
storytelling.
I personally,
I love it.
I love it too. I do think it's touch grass.
100%.
But like it
That's
is
the
a lot of
touch grass
fun.
theory.
It is a lot of fun to like think about and like this whole like their civilization of ant people and like it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I feel like Lovecraft would have loved it. You know,
100%, yeah.
like
and we have like the well, I didn't watch the Tolkien series too much of like Game of I was about to say Game
Lord
of
of the
Thrones. Yeah, Lord of the Rings and stuff. They have a hollow earth, right?
Yeah,
They go down
they
in the
do.
earth, yeah.
so
cool.
does Dungeons and Dragons, Underdark. You know, like it's like a prevalent
Theme because
theme,
it's cool.
right? Because it's cool,
it's
exactly.
cool.
So, but yeah, I would say touch grass. Next one, Princess Diana was unalived by the royal family.
I don't know much about this theory. I'll be honest. with
I
you.
think it's based.
You think it's based?
For
I
sure.
trust you. I trust your
For
opinion on
sure.
this.
I think it's based because Princess Diana was like lightning in a bottle, especially in terms of like royalty. The way she was like one of the first people to break the stigma with AIDS by like touching somebody with AIDS, because before everybody thought it was contact transmitted. So like she was pushing boundaries. She was like doing things for the people, you know what I mean, of the people. And I think good old Queen Elizabeth, looking up right now as we speak, that's a joke because she's in hell. I think she, for sure, if not her, like, she gave the order. I think so, for sure. Based. I would say Princess Diana did not deserve it, and she was iced by her in-laws.
Damn. But why? Because she was just too like.
Too progressive.
She was too progressive.
Too like, what's like veil shattering. You know what I mean? Like.
But like, why would they want to?
She didn't have like the same decorum.
Was she up and next in line for, like, to be the queen or something?
I don't know for sure. I don't know if it was her or I don't think so, because she was married to Prince Andrew. I don't remember now. I have to read a little bit more. But it was more so like the changing of the guard type of vibe, you know, like I'm going to do a little bit. I still think it's based, but you know what? I'm going to put who knows, because I have to do a little bit more research before I give a definitive answer. But just off of vibes.
I think I've heard a lot of people agree with this conspiracy.
Right.
And I've seen a couple documentaries like passing, and I saw there was some weird stuff with like the driver. Like,
right. It was all a little weird.
Like he was either drunk or something. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I would say I think you know. So you know.
You know what?
I'm
I'm gonna keep it in based.
Yeah, trust your gut, bro. Trust your gut.
I don't like the autocracy, so I'm gonna keep it based.
Trust your gut, man.
All right. Next is the dead internet theory. Based.
This is
everybody
true.
knows it's based.
I mean, even before AI, like this was kind of based,
Right.
and then now with AI, it's all robots.
I have a conspiracy on top of this conspiracy. If you want to hear it,
Talk to me.
I think the dead internet theory got pushed along quicker because of Elon Musk.
How so?
So Elon Musk bought Twitter, right? Fired everybody, essentially, made the blue checks. You could buy it, you know what I mean, instead of being earned. And scammers, OnlyFans girls, bots, because when you buy the blue check, your comment goes automatically to the top, you know? So, like, people took advantage of that. Russian bots, you know what I mean, to Indians, to you know what I mean? Like, Ian Miles Chong, you know what I mean? Like, it pushed them to the forefront. And dead internet theory is very real. If you look at the statistics, Facebook, Meta in general, has, I think, like, a 2.8% bot rate.
So
TikTok, like 2.1% of all users on Meta are bots.
Damn.
You know, TikTok is like
lot.
2.8. Yeah, you ready for this? You want to guess how much Twitter is?
Let me guess. 5?
You want to guess again?
20?
70%.
Nah, you're joking.
70% are bots. So, like, it's true. Like, when you go on the internet and you get, like, mad because of what people are posting, that's designed that way to keep you mad and to keep you all, you know, bots. For sure. I think it's based.
Yeah, me too. I think
1,000%
yeah, it makes
based.
a lot of sense.
Now, whether, like, Elon Musk is, like, the sole cause of pushing it further. I don't know. That could just be my own conspiracy theory. But the dead internet theory itself, I would say based.
Now with AI,
Right,
I
even
can
worse.
literally, like, AI can create a website, do other stuff,
Right.
write a blog, do all this.
Right.
And you can have an entire, like, society of fake individuals
for sure. Did you ever
interacting with each
have
other.
you seen the new Superman movie?
No.
So, not to spoil, but like it's a minor spoiler. But in one part, Lex Luthor is explaining like how he controls information or whatever, and he has an army of monkeys who like write terrible comments and like push like, and like it's just funny because like that's literally what's happening. Like there are whole like warehouses filled with Russian military who do that, or Chinese military, or even American military that do that, and like push psyops and like. So it's just real funny to me, but like it is a thing that's currently happening. So I would say based.
Yeah, I'd say base too.
For sure, based. Chemtrails are poisoning us.
I think this is like a who knows situation.
I kind of lean towards and probably.
You think so?
Yeah, I wouldn't say
why.
it's full on based yet because like you do need more evidence, I guess. But like I do lean more towards that than it not being that. Like
Because like what the purpose is to poison us, or they're conducting experiments.
so like
in
I
the sky?
heard different versions.
That
like,
I think is true 100%.
The
That's based.
experiments. I heard poison. I heard it's for HARP. You know what I mean? And it makes
like
HARP better.
Because we have like
know,
weather manipulation
and
programs,
weather manipulation.
cloud seeding. That's all real. Alex Jones was talking about that. The people
I
were
don't
saying
know
he
if
was
Alex
crazy.
Jones is like
No, I'm just saying he's been talking about that for a long time.
True.
They're like they're putting chemicals inside the air and
True. But I don't know. I would put it towards
I put that on
probably.
a who knows situation, because if the question is if they're poisoning us, I think our food is all poisoned, but that has to do with like
But
capitalism.
it could
in a
all
way.
be.
So I think that's
Because like
all
think
there.
about it, like the reason why they would poison us is like who benefits from it?
The elites.
No, private medicine.
True.
Like I've always loved this. Like you'll never get a cure because that's one less customer. Especially American medical system, like they want to keep you sick, so you keep paying your premiums and you keep getting more insurance and so for that I would say probably, but there's not enough full on evidence yet. I guess what would you say?
I think we could put it in probably.
That alien's looking a little lonely over here.
Yeah, let's give him some poison air.
Okay.
So he can feel better.
Planet X and the Anunnaki.
The Anunnaki theory. I like the Anunnaki theory.
I like the Anunnaki theory too. It's a lot of fun,
It's
but
a nice story.
It goes back to the Hollow Earth, like touch grass,
Yeah, 100%. Touching grass.
Like
like
Planet X is a real thing, like that's an actual planet that crosses our orbit. Now, whether like alien beings came from there and gave life to us, and like this whole like intergalactic war that like the Anunnaki were escaping from, like the gray aliens, like it's a lot of fun. I think you need to touch grass.
I think it's like a cult level deception.
Would you say it's a psyop or touch grass?
I
think it's
don't know.
beyond
I think
psyop,
it's a psyop, dude.
But I think it's beyond psyop at this point. And like, dude, you need to go outside.
Because the Anunnaki theory is cool.
It's a lot of
in terms
fun.
Of story, because it's
for
like
sure.
they need gold for interdimensional travel, and they designed us from monkeys in order for us to want gold. And you're like, okay, makes sense. So it's like we're made after the image of the creator. That might be why religions are this certain way. It gives it's like an escape path for like an agnostic atheist to be like, this is like a religion, cool thing. So I don't know. I think
I'm an
it's
atheist and I don't believe in it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like it gives like for example, there's certain like conspiracy theories or cults that lean on like Christians. So if you're a Christian, you're more likely to believe it because they're using things that make sense to you.
Gotcha.
And the same way I think Planet X is doing that to like agnostic people or atheists, because they're like, it's aliens actually who are this being that we don't know of, and we're able to do all this stuff.
True. So would you say psyop then, I guess, or? Because I think personally you need to touch grass.
I think you need to touch grass too. I think because
it's
honestly,
a cool
there's a big
story.
difference between like Illuminati being real and then there's a whole secret planet where we're from. And
right.
Anunnaki
And
are controlling-
the thing that throws me about that the most is like sure, and then they talk about tablets or whatever, and it's like you had me going until intergalactic warfare, and like and then it's just like, bro, like what am I reading, a George Lucas novel? Like
Actually, I hope they make a little book.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like a Scientology.
That'd be cool. So, yeah, touch grass. So we're going to skip these two for now because this one's a little bit more related. We're going to talk about Agartha because it's related to Planet X and Hollow Earth.
Yeah, so Agartha is basically this
For
theory.
people that don't know, please explain.
Yeah, so this is like deep levels of brain rot in terms of like internet culture of like to actually believe in this type of stuff. Well, essentially, there's a huge meme that is exploding right now talking about Agartha. And Agartha is this like breakaway civilization that the Nazis discovered. And they have like flying saucers, and they were able to go here and develop into this like whatever utopia place, right? And it's just like blasted all over the internet.
Yeah, I do see it all over
and just
the place.
making people like have blonde hair and blue eyes and like putting them on the thing.
And then it's crazy too, because like it goes in. Supposedly, it's in the Hollow Earth.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be too. So it's in the Hollow Earth.
And then it's also the Anunnaki, but like white Anunnaki apparently, because Anunnakis are like black.
Yeah,
but
so I mean,
apparently it's whitewashed Anunnaki.
Yeah, I think
it's a lot of fun to think about as like, again, a novel.
For this one, I don't even think it's fun. I think it's just hilarious. It's just so ridiculous.
But it's definitely going to go touch grass regardless, because
yeah, no, the memes itself. You have to go on TikTok and look up the memes. Sure. It's just so dumb.
But yeah, I would say touch grass. Like,
yeah, and they have a whole thing with like Yakub.
Right, but like my thing is like, how are you gentrifying the Anunnaki? You know what I mean? Like,
I think this is different though. This is talking about like,
because I've heard
other stuff too with like Yakub. Which
right,
like
but I heard they're all like connected. I don't know. It could just be a whole cluster of conspiracy theories rolled into one.
Yeah, honestly,
you know, because like,
yeah, there's a certain level where you're just bored and you just
you just start making things up. Right. Source, trust me, bro.
Source, exactly.
You know. All right, next, simulation theory. We are living in a simulation. Base, touch grass, who knows? What do you think?
I think this is a classic who knows.
Yeah,
because it's an unfalsifiable claim.
I would agree.
You can't claim it or not because it's
right.
Like,
you can't prove it regardless. Yeah, whether it's true or not. So I would say pretty cut and dry. Who knows?
I don't know. It's cool though. It's like, I don't know, like the Matrix itself, where it's talking about when deja vu happens, it's a glitch in the Matrix.
Right.
Like,
it's a
stuff
cool
like
idea.
that. It's like that's
cool
pretty
idea.
cool. But I don't know. In terms of, I would probably put it down near like, well, I think who knows is a good place to put it. Fed psyop, I think it could be that too.
Yeah, but I give it more merit than the other
like
two.
Nothing's real, bro. Like
I do give it more merit though than like Illuminati and flat Earth though. You know, like simulation theory.
Yeah, I would say it has a higher chance of being real.
Right,
sure.
I think so too. And like, we do live in a digital age.
Well, I don't know about Illuminati. I think maybe Illuminati might be near.
Who knows?
Who knows? No, but actually, I want to leave it there though because I think it makes sense. But in terms of just like referencing it from the Matrix one.
So yeah, I would say who knows. I think that's because honestly,
who knows? You
can't prove it regardless whether it is or it isn't. So I think that's fair. Next is another based one, Operation Paperclip. I'll give a little breakdown for those of you who do not know what Operation Paperclip is. After World War II. I'm not sure if it was the CIA or just DHS or whoever, but we recruited around like 50-ish to 60-ish German Nazi scientists to come from Germany and work for us. And like we gave them work in like arms manufacturing, NASA, a whole bunch of departments, even the automotive sector and like a whole bunch of sectors. And we were infiltrated by Nazis.
Yeah, I think like Wernher von Braun, I'm pretty sure he was one of them, and I think he has a quote saying that like if he was alive today, he would be charged for like a bunch of war crimes.
Yeah, for sure.
And he was probably like one of the more brutal like Nazi scientists. So
right.
It's just crazy because I think a lot of people. This is 100% a base.
And this hasn't been like confirmed by the CIA, but like come on, let's be real here.
Yeah, no,
like,
that's definitely a base conspiracy.
I think so too.
And it kind of plays on the fact that it's like. Our government plays as if it's the good guys, but at the end of the day, they're trying to win.
No government's the good guy.
They're trying to win.
Right.
To win, sometimes you got to be
every state is terrible. You know what I mean? Like, and they do terrible things, including recruiting Nazis.
We got someone to the moon.
We did?
Apparently,
if Stanley Kubrick has anything to say about it.
Yeah, true.
You know, but like, yeah, I would say recruiting Nazis was definitely a real thing that happened. Next is higher consciousness.
Yeah,
I lean towards this too.
Yeah, I think that's definitely based.
Like, I don't know if it's like full on confirmed to be based, because I'm probably more here, probably, because like, how do you prove it? How do you prove consciousness? You know, like, so how do you prove higher consciousness?
Right now, my friend.
Right, but like, I can prove that I'm conscious. I can't prove that you're conscious. Same as you can prove you're conscious, you can't prove I'm conscious.
But I think higher consciousness is
or have
more
consciousness rather.
Like higher consciousness is more so like you are not your body.
You're plugging into the universe.
Yeah, exactly.
essentially.
It's like you're not your body.
And I do believe in that.
You have a soul, right?
Right.
That's something that even like a bunch of different societies, cultures, religions are all surrounded by this like same phenomena.
Right.
That it's like you're not your body. You have a soul. There's
Well,
a
it explains-
plane.
but-
There's a plane
right.
beyond this.
Agreed.
Even in terms of non-religious stuff
You know
too.
what?
There's governments train.
I'm gonna put it in based because, like you said, multiple civilizations. You see the Fibonacci sequence everywhere, on all corners of the planet. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of similarities. So, like,
It also plays
not
into stuff
fully-
like for like remote viewing.
right,
Like those types of things that even our government had thought it was at least credible enough to go and try to research
Right,
it.
right,
Like
right,
the
right.
Monroe Institute. I mean, there's a lot of different things there. I think 100% that's based.
Yeah,
That's
I would
definitely
agree
true.
with that. Like, I need a little bit more. It's more like existential questions that stop me from saying it's based. But like, I would agree. Like, I do believe in it to a certain extent. So I would say based. Yeah, why not? Based. Next is an American favorite, not just Bigfoot, but cryptids in general.
Cryptids in general. Dude, I think most cryptids, you got to touch grass, bro.
I was gonna put Fed Psyop, but yeah, I'll agree.
I
with
think
that.
Fed Psyop is a good place to put it too, honestly.
I'm gonna put.
But
no, you know what? I'm gonna put touch
I'm
grass.
gonna put it touch grass
And I have reasons why.
because if we're talking about if you legitimately believe in cryptids, you don't just talk about them because they're cool. Because I
Right,
think
right.
cryptids are really cool.
They are cool.
But if you
And they're
like
awesome
straight up
stories.
believe in like Chupacabra and Bigfoot,
Right. Do you know, like, I heard this, I guess it's a theory or like an explanation, I guess, as to like the reason why there's so many cryptids. You know what it is?
what?
Owls.
That's like owl, like
Owls.
Mothman. I think
Right.
Mothman was
But
an
because
owl,
like
probably.
owls have like cryptid features, they can change their body. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen owls like when they get defensive and they puff out and like they look like cryptids, you know, or like an owl standing with like you see it's like legs, they look like cryptids. So I think a lot of the cryptid comes from like either that or just misremembering something or
Yeah, I
like
think the dark place can play
folklore,
tricks in your mind.
folklore for sure. Like the Jersey Devil, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a cool story. It's a story, you know. Like, it's I would say leans more into folklore, especially like this guy. That's a dude in a suit. You know what I mean? Like,
I think Bigfoot in general, it's like, so there's two different Bigfoot. One that he's like just legitimately a giant ape that has been able to evade humans
for centuries.
For centuries, even though they were looking for him, and he's
Right.
ginormous. And
Even
he's
though
in
there's
woods.
like almost no remote areas in the world anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like we have like what's called
Satellites
that are able to pick up
Scan
your location.
everything, right.
Exactly. So
Right,
we
like,
would
so
definitely find this guy on radar.
by now. Yeah, same for like the Loch Ness monster. Same for Mothman. All of them. You know what I mean? Like, irrefutable
Unless they're
evidence.
mythical creatures. If you're saying that they're mythical creatures with magical powers,
Right,
then it's
but
like, okay,
that's
now
a whole-
that's a who
that-
knows
we
situation.
need
Like,
we need
don't know
something beyond touch grass for
Exactly,
that. You know
yeah,
what I
that's-
mean? Like,
that. That's
like
it. You need help.
maybe just like control alt delete yourself. You know,
Plastic
like
spoon lobotomy.
I'm kidding. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, that's not.
That's just a
Don't
joke.
condone that.
All right, so I would say touch grass. This guy is definitely in a suit. Let's be real here. The next one is Lost Continents. You're talking the Atlantises, Mu. Agartha does not count in this because that's technically
Still a
a
real
hollow
thing.
Earth. Technically a hollow
It's
Earth.
real.
But so yeah, you have the well-known one is Atlantis, obviously, which like sank to the bottom of the ocean. The other one, I don't know if you can see here, but it's called Mu, and that was the one that was in the Atlantic between North America and Europe. And it's this supposed like other Atlantis that like was damned by the gods and forced to sink. And I'm gonna say touch grass
Yeah, I think.
because like
Let's wait for a second.
the only one. Okay, so let me confirm. The only one that you could argue a lost continent being real is, believe it or not, New Zealand. Because
Yeah,
if you
'cause
look
there's
at
a
New
lot
Zealand,
under it.
most of the continent of New Zealand is underwater. And what you see as the country of New Zealand is just the tip of the top. So that one, I'll give you merit.
That's
The
what I'm saying. Like,
rest of them,
we have a
though,
bunch of different underwater continents that because the sea level is just
Right,
goes up to a
right,
certain
right,
point.
right.
So, and even
But-
if like you could say like Antarctica is a lost continent because it's just like completely obliterated by snow and ice.
right, but what about the ice wall?
That's a fair point.
You
I
know,
didn't
like
think about that. Actually, you know what? Yeah, touch grass. Ice wall's real.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say touch grass because like we would have discovered it by now.
No, 100%.
You know,
I
like
think so. Or like you see that the photo where it's like this is our planet, and it's like after the ice wall, it's like all these other
Right,
continents.
right.
Like that's all cool. Like
right, that's
all
a cool
amazing.
story. I still think you need to touch grass
Yeah,
though.
for sure. 100% touch grass.
Bermuda Triangle,
I think that's probably probably.
as into like it being like
that there's something about this place that causes people to get lost and
I'm gonna put
crash.
Fed psyop, mostly because it's already been explained, and it's a change in both atmosphere in this little area and water pressure.
What about the fact that it's like there's like certain things about like some compasses don't work and
Right,
like
atmospheric change.
oh, for real? That's all
Yeah.
explained. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay.
And then
I got psyoped.
ships sink because of the change in water pressure.
Okay.
And that's why a lot of like hurricanes come from here. A lot of like it's just a hotbed of like changing atmospheric rates and pressure. And
So it's not the Anunnaki.
no.
That have like a special
No,
like,
sorry,
force field
no.
that like blocks.
That's actually
electronics.
where you get like phased up to the Anunnaki ship on Planet X.
Gotcha.
You know, you have to go.
That's just-
You have to go
that's
through the
landing
Bermuda
bed-
Triangle.
That's the landing bed of
But
the
you have to catch it
Anunnaki
like
ship.
right in the middle where the T is. You know,
Got
and
you.
then you go. Otherwise, you just die.
100%. That makes sense.
So you know
Okay.
what? Based.
Yeah, it's true. I have fed psyop. Like NPC theory,
NPC theory.
dude. NPC theory, like people who I don't know.
I lean towards and probably personally, because like it goes into like the other one of where did I put it here? I think it was this one, right? Because I put it false flag and predictive programming. I think they kind of go into each other.
Yeah,
you know, like
I don't know. So if the question is this, because there's different types of NPC theory.
Okay.
There's like the I forgot what it's called, like the soul limit, that there's only a certain amount of souls in human history that can be alive at a certain time. So anyone who's born without a soul is kind of an NPC.
Okay.
And is just like the types of people that you meet that
okay,
are
that,
kind
that's
of
new. I
emotional.
didn't hear this one yet.
Yeah, they're like there's like those kind of like people who act very predictively and they don't
Right,
have
right.
anything about
That
it.
that's what I would say, because like for me, NPC theory is like no critical thinking, no like original thought. You know, like parroting things. You know what I mean? Like that to me is NPC theory. I could be wrong though. That's just my interpretation of
I think
it.
no, I think that's like kind of the other version of it, where there's people who are out there who are like that NPC-ish. I think that is just true.
Me too.
And that's kind of where the meme comes from. That's where like kind of the cultural knowing of like what NPC means. when it
Right,
comes to
right,
an
right,
NPC. But I think also too that there's like that theory where they're literally not human. Like they're just like
See that
soulless.
that I would say touch grass.
Yeah, that's a touch grass.
The
I would
other
say
one
so.
though, I would say is probably you know, like it
No, I
sounds
think that's a based theory.
the
That there's people out there who are just straight up like repeating,
parroting. Okay, yeah,
parroting
that I
things,
agree with.
not really
Okay.
thinking about things critically. 100%. That's
But
just
like
true.
to be clear, there are no human vessels without souls. Let's be real here. Like
Except for Benjamin Netanyahu.
like different. That's a lizard person. We'll get there.
Okay.
That's a couple over. Next is false flag and predictive programming. For those that don't know, I would assume you guys know what a false flag is, but a false flag is an attack by a state on its own people or country to justify either going to war or justify whatever means it may be. Predictive programming is the theory that false flags occur almost all the time to keep us traumatized. And it goes back into MK Ultra, to keep us traumatized and easier to like manipulate and program and keep us like what's the word I'm looking for? Subservient, you know? I would say based, but maybe and probably, because like there is a lot of like who knows involved too, you know, like
there's levels of things, because
And this
things are
includes-
real things happen
Right,
all the
right.
time. And I think that there are some things that are manufactured, and there's also things that are real and they happen and they're blown up
For
to
sure.
look
Agreed,
crazier
agreed,
in
agreed.
order for people to do that. So if the question is, are false flags real? Do a Wikipedia search on Operation Northwoods and
Right.
then come back
That's
to me and tell me
based,
false
right.
flags aren't real.
But now predictive
100%
programming.
True. Predictive programming, that's also true in a sense of like you can program people to act a certain way that you want them to act. For
sure.
And there is a benefit for the government to do that to their population.
And corporations.
So if corporations as well, I mean, that's like advertisement.
Right.
Like
That's
basically getting
algorithm.
people, conditioning people
Sure,
to do a certain
algorithm.
exactly, algorithm.
You said it like two episodes ago? Your For You page
is for you.
is for you. Right.
Exactly. So in terms of that, that's just true. Like we are programmed to, when we're kids, to raise our hand. They put chairs in the room so we can go and sit and
Right,
be
right, right.
quiet and do certain things.
National
That's
anthem.
predictive. National anthem. That's all predictive programming. And then if we continue to, there's different levels to that. And I think all throughout we see that in our society.
Yeah.
From the top
agreed.
levels to the bottom level. So that's based.
Agreed.
I think that's 100%
I would put
based.
based.
But the question is everything of course not.
Right. And,
Of course not.
that's where like you can't go to extremes.
That's
you know
where
what
Alex
I mean?
Jones
right.
got cooked because
right.
he was saying that Sandy
Speaking
Hook
of,
was
we're
an
going to
inside
skip
job
ahead
and
to Alex
they got
Jones,
obliterated.
and we're going to talk about crisis actors.
100%. What is that? That's crisis actors. Talking about
Crisis actors.
in general.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think? Based? Do you think they're real? Do you think you need to touch grass?
There are definitely
I'm gonna
crisis
put it in,
actors.
probably.
It's and probably because again, it's one of those things where it's like
It gets blown up.
The reason why it's such a potent ability the government has to do false flags and to have crisis actors is because if you accuse them of doing it, they can say that there's a real victim.
Right.
Sometimes there is a real victim that when you're doing your questioning, they're getting negatively affected and it's a terrible situation. So
Right.
I think if we're saying that, are they real? 100% that there are crisis actors.
For sure.
There
And
are
that's not just
situations.
it's not just an American
and
phenomenon.
It's all over.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, it's global. So I would say, you know what? I'm gonna put it in based.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there is. Now, that's not to say everything is. Alex Jones found out for himself when he claimed Sandy Hook was crisis actors. You know what I mean? Like, so I wouldn't say everything is crisis actor, but there definitely exists, and it's definitely based.
And Alex Jones, he even said when he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, when he was like apologizing, before he got sued and stuff like that too, he was apologizing. He was saying that he thought like he was seeing things that were fake so often that when this happened and there were certain things that ended up not being true,
right.
he 100% believed
I get the
it.
thread of logic. Like, I understand it, right.
Like that's the thing that you have to be worried about. You have to pay attention to like you can't just fall into these traps where like everything is fake.
You can't parry. You can't be an NPC.
Exactly. You can't be an NPC. So if you're not an NPC and you're saying that there's a crisis actor, at the end of the day we have to see the merit, we have to see the proof, and if you're right, you're right. That's just how it is.
Agreed.
So if the question is, are they real? They're real.
I would say based. Right. If you say like it's all of them, I would say touch grass.
Yeah, that's a touch grass situation.
But we'll keep it in based. Next is I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Oil is rare.
Oil is a rare commodity, or that's like the
conspiracy. I guess technically the conspiracy is that it's not a rare commodity, but like we'll say like oil is a rare commodity. Touch grass or based? Is it rare?
Is it rare?
It's touch grass.
Is it a rare commodity? I don't know. I don't think so.
It's not. Well, a lot of countries produce oil, and like I want to say it's infinite, but it's not as limited as people will like to make you think it is. The reason why they push this
to keep the price up
is to keep the price up, and that comes from like a small cartel of oil countries: Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Russia, Norway, but they're not as bad with it. A lot of it's mostly the Gulf states. I think India's in there too. And what they do is Saudi Arabia is the biggest one with this. Is they change the prices, not based on like scarcity or whatever. It's just however they want to like base it. Arbitrary. That's the word I was looking for. So I would say it's something that got pushed by a few small nations who wanted to continue getting clout and richer. And yeah, but I would say you need to touch grass if you think it's rare.
I mean, I think that makes sense to me. The logic makes sense. There's a motive 100% because you would make more money in that case. Because if it was something like water, you know, like literally everywhere,
right,
then obviously it would tank.
You could argue water is more scarce, drinkable water.
I would have to look at the numbers on that.
Me too. This is me just
that could be true too. Honestly.
I'm just being hyperbolic. But
if we're talking about water that doesn't have microplastics all up in it,
then forget about it.
Then forget about it. That's like the rarest thing on the planet
for sure. So yeah, I would say touch grass. That there is plenty of oil on the planet. You know what I mean? Don't listen to these Saudis and Qataris and Russians. Like there's oil. You know, like next is another fun one. Reptilians. This kind of goes into like
control the world. Kind
of bleeds into like Illuminati. It also bleeds into like Hollow Earth and Nibiru because like the Anunnaki are fighting the reptilians and the gray heads or whatever they're called. I'm gonna say touch grass.
I think I would bump it up to Fed PSYOP.
Okay, actually, I agree with that.
Because those lizard people are real, okay? They're real flesh-blooded humans, and it's a psyop to pretend like the human race cannot be evil.
Yeah, I honestly agree with that.
We live in a fallen world.
I agree with that.
Our world is filled with sin, and there are people out there who are animalistic in the way that they want to conquer and win. And I would say that they are lizard-like.
No, I don't think they're literally lizard people.
Yeah, but I think that's the psyop. It's like, no, those lizards are real. They're humans just like you.
Right.
They have the same DNA. And
they're just evil people.
Exactly, yeah. So I think that's a psyop.
And like the whole reptilian goes into like the whole changeling thing and like the shapeshifter. Like that, I'm like, dude, definitely either a psyop or go touch grass. Like go on vacation,
changeling.
Dude. You know what I mean?
So funny.
Like go on vacation, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like So yeah, I would say Fed psyop is a pretty cut and dry one.
Yeah.
Next, we got Nick Fuentes here for the white genocide.
Damn. This is definitely
Touch grass.
Yeah, I think this is a touch grass thing. So this is the thing. It's like it's nuanced in a way that they're calling upon something that is happening, which is the fact that a lot of these used to be white majority countries are no longer going to be white majority. The question is, are you a white identitarian who doesn't want race mixing, or as they deem it, race mixing, and you want your country to be like pure? Exactly. Like, so if that's your concern, sure, you know, like what's happening is happening, but the majority of people are not white identitarians who don't, like, for example, like something that Nick Fuentes does all the time, which I like really think it's really annoying that he does, is like he guns on JD Vance for his wife being Indian. Right. So it's like, if you're a white guy and you date someone outside of your race, like Nick Fuentes, I feel like doesn't
it's
like
just
that.
thinly veiled racism. You know what I mean? Like the whole white genocide thing. Like to me, what it really screams of is like white people begging to be oppressed or wanting to be oppressed.
I don't know if it's that.
I think white people want it so bad that they have to make things up like white genocide. You know what I mean? Because of like, maybe it's a guilt thing for historically how white people treated other people on this planet. You know, like maybe it's a guilt thing, but I do think it's a fabrication, or like I wouldn't even say it's a Fed psyop. I feel like that's an internal psyop. Like you psyop yourself and like gaslight yourself. You know what I mean? Like Nick Fuentes being like prime for that. You know, like does that make sense?
I don't know if it's like I don't know if it's that. I think because like there's a lot of different races that have that kind of ideal where they like to stay with themselves and they don't like intermixing. There's black people who do that. There's obviously white people who do that. Nick Fuentes. But if you look, there's Brazilians who do that, who don't want, you know, so it happens all the time. I think just like this is specifically with white people. I think, I don't know, when white people do it, people have a bigger problem with it.
I don't think people are systematic.
I don't know if it's like they want to have an issue with it. I think it's like these people who are white identitarians, they think their identity in being white, their race is extremely important to them. So they hold these certain ideals. But the majority of Americans don't agree with them.
I agree.
And they kind of have this fake sense of the Constitution where they think that like because the founding fathers were mainly white. English, very specific Protestant English white people, and he's Italian himself, so they're immigrants, and like
you would have been looked at as brown.
There's a whole like I don't know, fictional worldview on how America is that's baked into this whole cake
idea,
yeah. So it's like it's not even like
that's
we're talking about
like it's self-gaslit.
Yeah, it's not like we're talking about like you're like Poland, right? And you want to have a Polish majority country. Poland has been majority Polish for the longest time. That's your race, has your culture. Cool. That's a completely different argument than something like this, where especially in America, where America's not.
And
like
they always point to like England as like their gotcha, and it's like they fail to see the context of why England is the way it is because of England. You know what I mean? England plundered the world for centuries. You know what I mean? They're gonna create refugees that are gonna go to England. You know what I mean? Whether it be India or Bangladesh or you know what I mean? Like they're all previous residents of the English Empire, you know, like, but they always forget that context of it, you know, like that's why the influx of Muslims into England is happening, you know, like England destabilized their countries for centuries, so they're gonna go where the money is, you know, like makes sense. And I don't think it's a white genocide. If anything, it's karma catching up to England. You know what I mean? For like all the crap they've done.
I think it's stupid immigration policy.
Yeah, and that's part of it too. For sure,
what it is. It's stupid immigration policy.
But that's part of it too. But the reason why they're influxing the way they are is because of England. You know what I mean? Like in the same.
I think
year,
that still
we destabilize countries. And then they come here for a better life from the country that destabilized their country. Like the logic is there why they're immigrating there. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. I think anyone who characterizes immigrants coming to a new country for a better life as somehow evil or whatever is terrible. Because there's a big difference between people who want to come here for crime or the question is like
most immigrants
whether or not we can facilitate them, whether or not it's smart to immigrate a huge portion of a population from a different country without making sure that.
And I'm not even saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying I understand why they're
100%,
going. You know what I mean? And why they're flooding those countries. And
if I was in those countries, I would flee to Western country too.
Right, exactly. And anyone would. Right here, look at me. If you think white genocide is real, go touch grass. That's all I have to say.
Grass touch.
Next is Sanenka Village. Do you know? For people that don't know what Sanenka Village is, Sanenka Village was a up-and-coming, thriving African-American community in New York that was bulldozed and destroyed so that they can build Central Park. And a lot of people think it's a a conspiracy theory? It's not. You could read about it. Like, there's plenty of documentation. I would say it's based. America had this thing in the 40s and the 60s, 50s and 60s, where anytime there was a thriving minority population or community happening, you know what would happen? Freeways would cut right through it. And then that's why people, because every time I say that, people are like, oh, what thriving minorities? And it's like, dog, like the point flying over your head. You know what I mean? Like, so I would say based, like this has happened. It's not just in Inca Village. It's not just in New York. It's happened all throughout the country where like anytime a thriving minority community starts to like rise up or like become more solidified, freeways, baby, freeways, the American way. We're going to cut right through it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm going to say based. I don't know if you have any follow-up thoughts or.
I don't know much about it. If like that doesn't seem out of the realm of like possibility.
I don't even know like technically.
At all, actually.
Technically, like I don't even know if I should have included it because like I don't even know if it counts as a conspiracy theory because like it's been.
I think it's like one of those things
documented.
Like Ultra. You know,
right.
People hear about it and they're like, oh, that's not true. And
right,
it's actually like, no, look at it.
Right. So yeah, I would say, all right, based.
Based. We'll put that in based.
Next is one of my favorite ones. The U.S. is responsible for the Chinese Golden Century. Based.
That's true.
Based, in my opinion.
Tell me why.
Yeah. Multiple reasons. It started with us selling out our industries to China. Because I don't know if you remember, but like at one point, everything was made in China. So what happened is the Chinese people learned how to make it, perfected it, and now they're blowing us out of the water, whether it's technology. They released their first ever 6th gen fighter jet. You know what I mean? Like, public transport for sure everybody blows America out of the water when it comes to public transport. But yeah, I would say Americans are at fault for it because of their own hubris and their own, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, seclusion from the rest of the world, you know? And it propelled China into making contracts with other countries. Like, if you look at, like, majority of the world, China... And the U.S. does it too. And I'm not saying China is good because, like, usually when the U.S. or China comes knocking, your country's screwed. You know what I mean? Like, but at least China's building roads, building hospitals, building community centers, building police stations. You know what I mean? And they're building their connections. They're building their relationships with the rest of the globe because America is going to be a secluded market sooner or later. And America has nobody to blame but themselves.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's definitely a big point that you made there. In terms of China being in a position where they're able to actually influence in a good way and not necessarily the way America influences, because we kind of come in, we tell you what you have to do, or you're getting bombed, and we're going to do democracy
and
in your country.
Let's be clear here. China does the same. China also has a history of genocide and like doing terrible things. I'm not saying China's good,
no, but I'm talking about right.
I mean?
I'm talking about like
but,
the perception right now,
right,
going into the future. And China has their Belt and Roads Initiative, where they're doing, as you said, where they're going in and investing into these places with low infrastructure and getting control that way, where now you are indebted to us fully.
Right.
And I think that is a better model, and we should be going for that model instead of what we're doing now.
Right, where we just go in and plunder.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, and especially what you said with the industry, us shipping our entire industry to China, and even foreign seas in general, because again, we lose a lot of jobs here in America by doing that. So
but it's cheaper.
It is cheaper.
But now it's biting us in the back because, like,
our products get cheaper. But is that the only thing that a country has to worry about? Is like GDP and like profit you're making per
here?
Thing? Yeah. That's the biggest problem I think we have in America. Where and like that's part
GDP
of the thing too. Is what makes us the greatest. But it's like we should be focusing on quality of life.
Right.
We should be focusing on a lot of different things. Other than
and
that,
like another reason why I think they're, especially in like tech and industry, why they're advancing so much further than us is because here things get gatekept. You know what I mean? Because you have to make profit, like OpenAI or whatever. You know what I mean? Whereas in China, and I'm not saying like communism is good because of this, but China, nobody is above the state. You know what I mean? So like here, this is why here you have lobbies and you like people like can choose to cut funding or whatever. In China, it's backed by the state, so there's no incentive to like outcompete each other, and instead you're gonna outcompete other nations. You know, like OpenAI versus DeepSeek or DeepMind. You know what I mean? Like China released it because it was backed by the government. No one individual is making a whole crap load of money off of it. Instead, they release it as an open sourced AI that can be altered, can be edited. You know what I mean? Like, and it progresses it forward. You know, like, and here things get stagnant because you have to make money off of it. In China, they make the money after building it out by selling it to other people. You know, like, and here we aim it at ourselves, but like then you gatekeep things and like we don't progress. Look at the infrastructure in America. We're so far behind compared, let alone trains. China probably has the best trains in the world. You know what I mean? Like, do you know how fast a train is here? You want to guess? Like one of our high speed ones.
High speed train, what?
Here.
Like 200 miles per hour?
48 miles an hour.
Here?
48 miles an hour.
What, 200 is what in China?
400
Oh, what?
in China and Japan. 400. And they're never late, always clean. You know what I mean? Like,
But that's another problem we have in here in America. It's where it's like
because here
This is
everything
why
is profit incentivized.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's a fair point of why it's dirty. The solution, I don't know if it's to like collectivize it or whatever, but I don't know. I
It's
think
not necessarily collectivized.
we leave our streets disgusting and dirty. We have crime all over the place.
Right.
We don't do anything about it. And it's like kind of that whole meme where like Tucker Carlson goes to Russia and he goes to like the grocery store and everyone's like, oh, making fun of him because he's like dumb. He doesn't know how conversion works. But his principle does kind of hit home where he's like, look when you enter into our country, these are the biggest ports we have. These are the biggest places we have. And it's not beautiful.
No,
it's ugly.
it's
It's disgusting.
Ugly.
It's like, it looks like we walked out of like a brutalist.
Yeah. Look at
like-
Bayonne. You know what I mean? Bayonne is, no offense, Bayonne. Actually, offense. I hate Bayonne. Bayonne is ugly, dude. You know what I mean? And that's for a lot of people, like when they come here for the first time, whether it's at JFK or Newark Airport, look at the area that they're looking at surrounding that. You know what I mean? It's not exactly welcoming, you know? Like, but the problem is here, if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. You know what I mean? So like,
Because it costs money.
exactly. Like, dude, there was two sinkholes on Route 80 in the same exact spot. Two within like 2 months. That's crazy. Things like that don't happen in other countries. You know what I mean? Because here, especially when it's anything for like the public or like the people themselves, they're gonna like hold as long as they can before they're forced to do it. You know what I mean? Like they never would have fixed that if it didn't collapse. You know what I mean?
When they
like
do go to fix it, it's just like
patch jobs.
throws money at it.
Right.
You throw
Patch
money at
jobs.
some person to do it, and
Right.
it's like, or it's not even just like little stuff like patching. I'm talking about like if you have like a big project you want to get done,
Right.
Like, whatever. If you want to fix homelessness or you want to do this, or
We can.
it's like
we have plenty of
we
homes.
can definitely do it. We have a lot of money. We could definitely do it if we tried hard enough.
Like,
But
and
for
that's
some
my
reason, it
thing,
always
too.
seems like it always gets split up between bureaucracy. Bureaucracy has to get their cut. Everyone has to
That's
make
the problem.
money on
Everybody has to get their cut.
it. Yeah,
you
and
know?
then and
Like-
at the end of the day, it's like nothing gets done. So
yeah, exactly. So I would say based. China is entering its golden century, and it's all our fault.
yeah, I think we need to stop them by becoming better than them.
That would
We have to just
would
work
be
harder.
the goal. I
have
don't
to
see it
work harder.
happening, but that would be the goal.
No, I see it happening. I'm.
I think we're a little
I'm
behind
hope-pilled.
already.
I'm hope-pilled.
I'm hoping to. We'll see. Next is the NSA spy taps base.
Yeah, that's an instant base. We don't even need to go
like
into that
we
much.
technically
Edward
don't even
Snowden.
have to. It's not even a conspiracy theory. We didn't even have to put it here, but like a lot of people still think it is. You are being phone tapped, whether you like it or not. Like our phones are listening to us right now. My laptop is listening to me right now. You know what I mean? Like
Privately, at least, minimum. Everything is completely compromised.
yeah, for sure.
Privately, everything's
That's why there's data
compromised.
breaches
Private
everywhere.
companies have everything.
Right.
And then you're talking about if the government's able to have it too. That's called a like one step.
Right.
There's a one step like logical step from that.
Right.
you know?
Agreed.
And at the end of the day, we already have
And
instances.
didn't that
of
come
the
in with
NSA
like the
doing that,
Patriot
so-
Act? And,
Yeah,
like,
Patriot. Yeah, all that
you know,
stuff.
like
It comes with like your rights are not real.
right.
At the end of the day,
For sure.
they're not tangible. You have to continuously use
Use
them,
them, right.
in order for them to
Or you're gonna
keep,
get
for them to
lost.
keep them.
Right.
So,
Agreed.
in terms of our right to privacy, we've completely
Dunzos.
lost it. It's not
Gone.
even real anymore.
Gone.
Neither is like the Fourth Amendment is basically like cooked
Yeah,
too.
it's on its
with
way, too.
all that, it's like
Yeah. Even your First Amendment.
yeah,
Like,
First Amendment is almost there. Well,
like-
but I think in America we actually like. That's something that's super easy. It's like cartoonish. You're breaking my constitutional First Amendment right.
Right.
It's like everyone knows that line, you know?
Right.
It's
but
very
then
hard
how-
to be like, you're
but how
breaking my
many videos-
Sixth Amendment
But
right.
how many videos do you see of like cops arguing with people over their First Amendment?
No, for sure. But,
know, like-
no, for sure.
Like,
But I feel like
they're
people
definitely
are
trying
more
to
like
trample on it.
people are more strong with it.
For
I
sure.
think we lose it whenever we start doing the whole definition game where we start
Yeah, agreed.
defining stuff.
I agree. So yeah, based. Next is QAnon.
This is
Touch grass.
No, that's a Fed psyop, bro.
Actually, yeah, I agree with that. It's a little bit of you need to touch grass because you've been Fed psyoped.
Yeah,
you know
exactly,
what I mean. Like
exactly. And
like,
at the end
yeah.
of the day, like QAnon to me, I remember my first day hearing about QAnon. I was at jiu-jitsu practice, and my teacher comes up to me, or my trainer. He comes up to me and he's like, "Oh," we started talking about conspiracies in general, and then he was driving me home, and he was like, "Dude, I'm gonna tell you something secret, bro. Like this is like high level high level of the stuff. You know, it's like we're having information war and our president needs our help.
That's crazy.
And then he shows me
my
this clip, and
God.
it's like I forgot what the channel was called, and I just remember him being like, "Orange shirt, orange
Oh, I
shirt."
remember the orange shirt
and then,
thing.
And then, and I was watching this video, and it was during this whole
so
breakdown.
crazy.
And I just remember them like weaving. Anytime that someone's like selling me a conspiracy theory, and it starts to do with random symbols or rhyming, I'm just like,
I start to clock
you
out.
lose me.
Yeah,
You lose me completely.
Agreed.
And then QAnon is filled with that. It's like
To the
Donald
brim.
Trump wore an orange hat, and then he looked to the
And
right.
like the crazy thing
and
is
then-
like
and then he
wasn't like Marjorie Taylor Greene a part of that too at one point?
Was she
And, like,
really?
yeah, I think so. Maybe
What? No way.
parroting certain things. I remember her parroting certain things
That makes sense because Donald Trump used QAnon strategically,
for sure.
which honestly,
Which feeds into the psyop thing.
yeah, it feeds into the whole psyop thing.
Because like my own conspiracy theory about it is that they used QAnon to further discredit the term conspiracy theory.
Oh, 100%.
Because now you say conspiracy theory, you automatically think of Q and how bonkers they are, and you lose credibility. You
do,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Even when
100%.
you're speaking about base things like MK Ultra or like, you know what I mean? Like it gave that stigma back to because conspiracy theories are starting to like be right about things, and like can't have that. So let's make this
conspiracy
crazy
theorists
bonkers.
was becoming a thing of like, oh, we're the conspiracy we're the conspiracy theorists.
Right,
it's like,
right.
No, we're the truthers. you know?
Right. And
yeah,
definitely a
QAnon-
psyop to like continuously quiet people and keep people
but
silent.
the thing about QAnon, to me, it's just so like, it's so dumb. It's not even fun. It's
Right.
funny.
It's just dumb.
It's funny.
Right.
So
It doesn't
and
even make a
also,
good
too,
story.
It's not a good story. It was cool is when they were like Donald Trump. It's like Obama and Hillary Clinton are secretly arrested, and you see Obama like has like a ankle monitor on.
Right.
And the deep's like, Donald Trump is 13 days away from
right.
being in there, and
Like-
it always comes into like the pills. Like they try to sell you vitamins.
Exactly. Or another shit coin.
Yeah, dude.
You know,
No,
like, oh, that came after. Sorry.
yeah, that was after.
But like my thing with like Q, like it's like they start to lose me. It's like, okay, the government's evil. Agreed.
True.
There's plenty of evil people in the government. Agreed. Oh, it's only Democrats. Oh, now you're starting to lose me a little
Yeah,
bit. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, oh, like Donald Trump is like perfect.
No, Donald Trump is a octuple dimensional chess player who's
Oh, right,
strategically
true,
manipulating
right, playing 6D
everybody.
chess, right,
Like pointing
true.
out the entire plan
Right.
secretly to these
Yeah.
like Qers who are tapped in on 4chan.
Oh, my
it's like, dude,
God.
like your brain is scrambled.
We didn't add this one here, but I also think 4chan is a Fed psyop. 4chan itself.
Yeah, no, there's definitely
Ju-
feds embedded in there.
Yeah, but
For sure, but
yeah,
I mean-
QAnon.
They're doing their job. You know, they're protecting this country.
Oh sure, QAnon. Go touch grass because you have been psyoped.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, we'll continue. We're almost done here. We're a little bit. Oh, we're like an hour and some change already.
Oh, for real? Yeah, we got to
Next is the Mandela effect. This is a popular one.
Yeah, Mandela effect is another one of those cool
I'm
ones.
gonna put it in who knows.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's exactly where it goes because it's a real phenomenon.
Right.
It's undeniable.
But now, like, is it a real phenomena or is it misremembering things or like?
But that's a phenomenon. So it's either like, see, people are always misremembering, or we are secretly in a different dimension.
Right.
Or
And
that's
like,
about
it's
the
fun
only
to
two
think about, you
things.
know, like. But I would say who knows, because like I've seen some pretty convincing arguments for certain things, like the Pikachu one, like having the little black thing at the end of its tail, and like the Monopoly guy having a monocle, like. But I also kind of lean more towards like we're just false remembering things.
That's probably where, that's realistically what
or
it is.
companies are like just changing things subtly. You know what I mean? Like the Fruit of the Loom thing. Like it probably had a basket back in the day, and they changed their logo. You know what I mean? And people now think it's Mandela effect.
Nah, I don't know.
You know,
dude.
like
no, because they have
or
that's
the
stuff.
or the Bernstein Bears. You know, or like
This is the thing though. I feel like the phenomena is real, 100%. It's like 100%.
or like Shazam with Sinbad.
I don't think that they're changing it. I think it's just people either misremember, or they can go into a sensory deprivation tank and meditate and translucent into a different dimension.
True, and they
slip.
peeped it. True.
Yeah, and then they just
and then Bernstein Bears are spelled with an E.
Exactly, and that's
Ah.
the only difference. No, but this is the thing though. So they have a whole theory of why it makes sense, because it's like when you're in the sensory deprivation
It's
tank,
Agartha.
it's a when you're in the sensory
Got to break
deprivation
through the
tank,
ice wall.
like there's only a certain sect of universes where you're in the same tank at the same time,
Okay.
in the same location.
Right,
So
right,
therefore, it would have to be so similar to real life,
Right.
with slight
And like
differences.
to
I'm
be
like, okay,
to be fair, I do
Fine.
believe in like string theory and like multiple universes. Like whether it's true or not, I don't know. I tend to believe like yeah,
if the question is are we going to a different dimension? I would probably say no.
No, right.
But
So,
I don't think it's a touch grass or a Fed psyop.
me neither. I think it's a
definitely
who knows. Yeah, because it's like a natural phenomenon, like shared by millions of people. So like it's hard to say. I would say who knows is correct. The deep state.
Deep state. That's definitely a base conspiracy. Maybe you can put
Yes
and
and
probably.
no.
Maybe you can put and probably just because it's.
I'm gonna put it in and probably because like I personally don't think there's a deep state. I think it's just the state.
But this is the thing, though. No, they're saying that there's these people who are unelected, who are able to stay in these positions, not necessarily that we're in the government, but of extreme power that they use and they manipulate.
Nancy Mace.
Who?
Nancy Mace, or like what's her name? Elizabeth Warren or Nancy Pelosi. You know what I mean?
But no, it's even beyond that. It's like
they're
they're
if anything,
like,
they are the deep state.
no, they are the deep state. They would be a part of
Like
it.
Nancy
but it's not
Pelosi's
just
been
them.
in
It's like,
Congress for 40 years without running for 40 years. You know what I mean? Like
for example, right, when we're talking about
wouldn't that
these
be
bipartisan
classified?
agreement with like Israel, for example, right. Other things like, for example, the fact that we never get like healthcare or
Right.
There's certain things that just never
Oligarchy things.
Yeah, there's things that never end up happening. People obviously want them. I think that has something to do with the deep state ish. So yeah, I think it's an and probably because there's definitely, as we said with the Illuminati thing, there's people who have power.
Right.
But it's like what
Again,
you said,
like,
where it's like you can't really be like
Right. Because like my thing about it is like I just don't think it's real because I just think it's the state itself. There's no deep state. It's just the state. You know, like if anything, deep state is deflecting towards the
But I
people
think the
who
deep state
really
the people
are.
who aren't like elected and you don't really know their names and they kind of hold a lot of this power and they don't have to be elected.
But like who? Like in what kind of position? You know what I mean? Like in Congress,
head of like,
or you're talking like boards and CEOs
yeah.
or like investment firms or like
stuff like that.
Right.
Like
That's just the state.
Organizational people.
But that's just the state. That's how we've been running for centuries, decades.
That's a fair
You know what I
point.
mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's a fair point. Let's be
like-
and probably
Like I wouldn't say it's a deep state because it's right there for you to see. You know what I mean? Like look at BlackRock. You know, like an equity firm that hoards resources left and right. You know, like if anything, they're the deep state. You know, like so I would say and probably because like I do think the deep state is real. I just think it's the state itself is the deep state. You know, like I don't think there's a separate sect of it. I guess, but like I could be wrong. Who knows? Next is climate change is a hoax. Touch some grass.
Yeah, I think this is a Fed psyop.
Actually, yeah, I agree with that too.
Because like this is the thing too. Like I kind of got caught in this as well because when you don't really know a lot about the climate or like how things work, and you just watch conservative media and they tell you climate change is fake. They just want to pass carbon taxes.
Right.
And it's like maybe there's a level to that because I never doubt the way the state will gain power. So they'll do it in any way possible.
But like my thing is, like,
the whole thing
how do you deny climate change?
They say that it's not human geared, and they want to stop people from producing oil and basically make our energy cost more and be able to implement carbon taxes to control the whole government thing. It's a whole conspiracy like that. That's why that's like the motive of why it's fake.
Gotcha.
And I would say like for me, I don't know. It's like I care about our planet. I think that it's undeniable. It's undeniable that we have a lot of pollution in our air, that we need to be regulating companies to make sure that they're doing things correctly.
Right.
And I think it's really a psyop that a lot of conservative influencers and like kind of this media push that they say that it's not real, just so that you don't really pay attention to corporations who
I agree with that.
F over our,
I agree with that.
our like
I agree
our
with that.
planet to make a profit.
Right.
So it's a multi-level thing. So it's like, if you're saying that the government could be using it to push carbon taxes in order to have like a one world state government, that's a way they can do it, and I think that might make sense, maybe. But at the end of the day, I think the majority of it's a psyop so that you don't actually care about the planet.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like climate change is definitely real. If you don't think it's real, like you need to do some research.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
like why is it 84 in October? You know, there's definitely plenty of evidence. So yeah, I think Fed psyop is a good place to put it. Next is one of my favorite ones. Birds, specifically pigeons, are CIA or Chinese spy drones. Based.
Yeah, that's based. That's definitely
Based
true.
just off of vibes.
Yeah, 100%.
Just off of vibes. This is based.
That's just
you know,
true.
like
it's like, have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
right.
Have you ever seen a baby pigeon? Never. I guarantee you've never seen a baby pigeon.
Yeah.
It's because they're all fake.
If anything, out of everything we talk about today, this is probably the most based and the most true.
100%. There's no question.
Like birds aren't real.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
I've never seen a bird before. Like, think
right,
about it.
yeah.
I've never seen
like,
a bird.
If you see a bird outside, guess what? You're gaslighting yourself.
Exactly.
You know what
exactly.
I mean? Like,
It's like when you're
a
when you're
spy
like 5
drone.
years old and you see like a lump of something in the corner and you think it's a monster. It's the same thing.
Right,
It's like
right.
it's just
based.
shadows. It's just shadows.
I would say it's based.
Yeah, 100%.
There are no such thing as pigeons.
Yeah, yeah.
Next, Michael Jackson was killed. He didn't die naturally. I'm gonna say probably leaning towards based, but I'm gonna put in probably.
Yeah, let's put and probably.
And
because
the
he was
reasoning-
going against like Sony.
So the reason why is there's a lot of theories as to why, but one of the main ones is that like I don't know if it was Sony or Universal. I think it might have been Sony, where he bought the entire Beatles catalog and like he bought like the rights for so much music, and he became arguably one of the most powerful men in music. And Zionists didn't like that, and yeah, because then you go into the whole theory of like his doctor botched the surgery and like he was put under, and I think there's some truth to it, whether it's true or not. Like I don't want to say it's based, but I don't think it's a psyop or touch grass either.
Look, I think he
became way too influential.
Yeah, I think he became very influential. He was gaining a lot of money into like business power,
And then he started making songs that were against Israel. And like,
I don't even know if it's even that. It's just like
I'm just saying.
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying.
But I think like with Michael Jackson, I think he definitely thought people were after him.
Yeah, for sure.
When he was about to die, and then he died in that way. I don't know. That's why I think it's a who knows and probably. So I'll put and probably because it's a cooler story that way.
And now the most.
It's a very suspicious photo too. I don't know why.
That just happened to be the first one I found, but yeah, I don't think you can't blame him, bro. Man, it's the vitiligo. You know, like it's not his fault. He looks like a ghost.
Yeah, I don't know. It just looks like he has like an armband. It's like red behind him.
Yeah, I could kind of see
Yeah.
that. Okay, maybe I chose the wrong one. New conspiracy: Michael Jackson was a Nazi.
I mean, ask Rabbi Shmuel. He'll probably say he is.
Rabbi Shmuley probably would. Speaking of Rabbi Shmuley, let's talk about eugenics being next. Do you know what? Should I explain what eugenics are?
I think you should explain eugenics, but like in what way is it like conspiracy?
Like people still believe eugenics is real.
What that like
that there's different DNA between black people, white people, Asian people,
okay,
Latinos.
okay.
Like a black man's skull is like slightly bigger and like it makes them better for like field work and like that's eugenics.
Oh, okay. I thought eugenics was like the act of basically making like a pure like.
In a way, it leads to that, but like the science itself is that like white people are superior because of X, Y, Z, and like.
Oh yeah, you gotta touch.
You know, like they would
grass
say
on that
like there's an extra groove in the skull of the black man, which makes him more subservient, and like that's eugenics.
Yeah, you can
You
put
know,
that in.
touch grass. If you think eugenics is real,
You gotta put that in a touch
grass.
Can we make a new category?
Yeah, right. Like,
Scrambled brain?
can I make a new one? I think I can.
Your brain is scrambled.
No, I don't think I can.
Yeah, that's the scrambled.
But
brain.
you know what? Scrambled.
Yeah, your brain's
like,
scrambled.
It's beyond touch grass.
Yeah, if you're like I don't know, if you're like within like the ridges of the skull or whatever, and you're extrapolating that to a bunch of different.
Right, and it's dumb to me because like if you look at DNA, technically there's no difference between me, you, a bird, fish. Like we're all Earthlings. We all have the same DNA like makeup. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, well, I would say like there's slight differences in terms of race. Like we know that like medically, I know like certain races get like diabetes easier.
but
based on what they drink
that's not
and-
your DNA.
No,
and your genetic makeup.
Well,
you know
no,
what I
it
mean?
would be your
That's
genetic makeup.
like because your DNA is set in stone. You have the double helix. It's never going to change. You know what I mean?
No, but,
like
but what I'm saying is like that different racial groups have different like I know like Asians like they're more likely to get drunk like faster.
right, but I wouldn't say that's a eugenics thing.
But
I would
that's
say
like
more
that's like baby eugenics. Like
I guess,
we have
yeah.
slight differences. My skin tone is lighter than yours. Like that's like
Right.
that's genetic. That's slight
right.
differences.
But like that's different from like your DNA. You know
No,
what I
that
mean?
is your
like,
no. I'm saying that is your DNA.
right.
that-
But like your
your
DNA
DNA would be
blueprint is
different.
still the same, regardless of what species you are on this planet.
Yeah, it's like 99.99999.
Right. Like we all have the same DNA. You know, this is why like we're all Earthlings. You know what I mean? I don't even like to say humans. Like if you really think about it, we're all Earthlings. We share the same DNA makeup as birds, dogs, animals. You know what I mean? Like we're all Earthlings. You know, like maybe not white people if you believe like Planet X and Anunnaki and all that, but like, yeah, I don't know. Eugenics is not real. People need to touch grass if you think it's real.
Yeah, I would say touch grass. If you're
Beyond touch grass, you need to just like jump off a bridge.
if you're pulling up a measuring tape and measuring someone's skull, dude, like I think
right,
you're
like
cooked.
jump off a bridge, dude.
Yeah, I think you're
you know what I
cooked.
mean. Like Control Alt Delete yourself. You know, like I think that's
In a video game.
no. I'll say the quiet part out loud. No, do it in real life. If you wholeheartedly with your whole chest think eugenics is real, I don't think you're contributing anything to humanity.
Yeah, if you're trying to like, I don't know, because when you say eugenics, I think of like experiments and like
But that,
like
but it
killing
was like,
people and
back in the
trying to
day,
make,
colonizers would crack open slave skulls to like you do the eugenics and look at the different ridges and like you know what I mean. Like the experiments were there.
Yeah.
And I think like you were saying like the pure race theory like that's the ends. That's the end to justify. You know what I mean. Eugenics is what justifies that as the end. You know what I mean. Like it's the science behind that. You know like. So yeah, I would say jump off a bridge.
Yep.
And I think that's a good place for us to end. We've been we ran a little bit over, but this has been fun though. Like, if you guys have any other ones that we didn't touch on, I know there's so many conspiracy theories. We didn't even touch on about like 9/11 or anything like that. We didn't even get into any of that. If you guys want to follow up, let us know. We'll make a follow up. These are fun to do. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
100%. I had a lot of fun.
And, like,
it was my favorite episode to
So far, me too. And like, don't forget, pigeons aren't real.
Pigeons are not real. Like, subscribe, all of the things. Do it. We know you can do it. Thank you.